everybody, and welcome to the Velveteen Dream podcast. This is Casey. How's it going?
You don't say his name because you don't even know who he is.
I don't.
Fandom Flux is a Velveteen Dream.
Oh, Velveteen Dream.
Now it's going to be stuck in your head too. I guarantee it.
Thank you, Kenchi. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Velveteen. Kenchi's here.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618. Let's get this shit over with so I can finish watching Punisher.
I need to watch that.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm like 8 episodes in.
I haven't, because I don't know how to access Netflix without my dad being around because he has the passwords and stuff, so I couldn't watch it.
It's pretty good.
I still need to finish Stranger Things season 2.
No, you don't.
Maybe.
Zero's here.
Hello. I'd say something funny, but I was caught off guard, so now all you have is me awkwardly trying to fill time with my voice.
Velveteen Dream.
I'm so happy right now.
Patience here.
Hello, everyone.
All right.
Don't. I know you're thinking it.
I was.
Alright. Yeah, so who wants to go first for the week?
I can go first. Get out of the way.
Alrighty.
Alright, so apparently headbutting people in the face in Steak and Shake parking lots is the way to get ahead in professional wrestling because now my promoters love me for some reason. And they weren't even there. So
Okay. Actually, that actually kind of tracks, you know?
So they're probably going to do something with me soon, which is cool.
Yeah. On video.
So, yeah,
So
if you want to get ahead in life,
Don't.
find a guy that...
Don't. That's not Velveteen Dream.
You don't even know who the Velveteen Dream is, Casey.
It's just a way of life, Kenchi.
We're never going to escape this Velveteen Dream.
All right. That aside, I've watched like a jack ton of movies Saturday. Let's see.
Wow.
Like it was an action smorgasbord. I started off by watching, see, what was it? Oh yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
It's pretty good.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Then I watched both John Wick movies. And I have to
Pretty-
say, those are outstanding flicks.
There's
Yeah,
2 of
I like
those?
them.
There
Yeah.
are 2.
Okay.
And they're both awesome for
You
different reasons.
don't mess with John Wick. Just don't.
He killed 3 guys with a pencil.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. It's awesome.
So yeah. And with watching those John Wick movies, I have to say, I can't deny it anymore. It's a shame, but I have to say, Neo from The Matrix is one of the premier action stars of our time.
You mean Keanu Reeves?
He's Neo from The Matrix.
Neo from The Matrix is one of our premier
from Bill and
action
Ted.
stars.
Thank you.
You weren't born. I wasn't born in the 80s, Casey. He's Neo to me.
I was
Neo
born in the 80s.
Neo is a
I
really
wasn't.
good action star when he's playing a role that fits his type of acting style, which is passive face that punches you and kills you.
Or kind of dazed and confused. That's also something you can do.
He's a character actor. You just have to build the movie around that fact, and he's great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Don't have him do Shakespeare because he's not good at it.
As we know from...
Don't have him do Shakespeare unless he's Neo from The Matrix in Macbeth.
No, he actually did Shakespeare once. I think it was Much Ado. It was not good.
You know, it was much ado about nothing, really.
Shut up.
Come on, that joke had to be made.
It didn't have to be made, patient. No one had to make it. But aside from that, who else did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched the last Mission Impossible movie. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as the others.
Which one's
Yeah,
that?
I didn't see that.
Which was it called? The last one he made, Rogue Nation, I think. It's called.
Okay. Never heard of it.
Wow.
That one flew under the radar for a lot of people.
In fairness,
Circle.
I didn't watch any of them. I was briefly aware of the second one because Metallica were on the soundtrack, and thus the music video for the song, which was an okay song, had a lot of clips from Mission Impossible in it. And there was a guy that was jumping out of a building that was exploding and such, and that's about all I know about Mission Impossible.
So this was in a music video.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many years it's been since I've actually seen a music video.
Yeah, that was like all of my early teens was just watching Kerrang or MTV2 or Scuzz TV because I was a Grebo, emo kid, goth, whatever, when I was a teenager. So yeah, commercial break, switch over to music channel, watch that for the 5 minutes, switch back.
Yeah, you see, I used to watch a lot of videos too, then they stopped showing them.
Yeah.
So I don't watch them anymore.
Yeah, there was
Even
like
though I could.
there was like a dozen channels that were just those send in your request for a song and we'll play it, which was a complete scam because obviously they had like 20 songs that they were going to play over and over again throughout the day, so it didn't really matter a single iota what you voted for because they were going to play the same songs anyway, and they were probably going to be the ones you voted for.
I never watched MTV. So,
Ever watched Jackass?
like 1 or 2 episodes, but
What?
Oh,
yeah.
makes me a little sad.
It does. I mean, in all honesty, good for you for never watching.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, when I was a wee bab, I was raised in a small town in Arkansas in a private Christian school. I was pretty sheltered, so
Valid point.
yeah, I missed out on the heyday of MTV.
I mean, I'm definitely not calling you out for not watching Jackass. I mean, you're probably a much better person for not watching that show. But
That being said, maybe YouTube some of the better skits.
yes.
Sure.
Don't really have anything else. Oh, yeah. We never talked about the EA Battlefront thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
Let's
know
just
that was a thing last time we were on.
so for those unaware, there's this whole debacle where somebody did the math for trying to find out how long it would take to unlock Darth Vader, because now you have to unlock your heroes, and it took 40 hours of nonstop play and hoarding credits to get
Yeah, the thing
Darth
was,
Vader.
it took 40 hours at launch if you were just going to grind and not spend money. That was with the microtransactions turned on. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, people really fucking hate that. So we're going to dial it back a bit and make it so it only takes, I think it was 4,000 credits at start, and then it takes
It
one.
was
Or-
they reduced it by like 75%, but it was
Yeah.
still like 15,000 for Darth Vader.
Yeah, so 60,000 to 15,000. Thing was, at the same time, they also quartered a lot of the rewards that you get from doing stuff. So you would actually get the same... It would take the same
Well,
amount of time, more or less.
To be exact, what they did was normally you'd beat campaign and you'd get 20,000 credits, right? And if they had kept that, it'd be like, okay, cool, you get a hero like right away, whichever one you want.
Yeah.
Instead, they cut it down to 5,000, and also they limited a lot of the modes where you could easily grind for credits.
Yep.
So basically, just kind of screwed everyone over by saying they're making changes. And then people were also like, oh, hey, and also there's this loot box shenanigan with these things called star cards, and one of them allows you to get better aim assist. So they break the balance of the game. And so EA then said, we're
It
going to
does break the
turn
balance
off...
of the game, but they don't want to undermine the balance of the game by letting you earn credits in single-player mode, because that would undermine the very foundation of the game.
And, like, so then they were like, we're turning off microtransactions at launch. Not
It's
removing
temporary.
them.
It's temporary.
We're turning them off temporarily to be brought back at a later date. We will make quote-unquote changes.
And they will make changes, and they'll make it more tolerable.
They'll make it... Yeah.
And everyone will go, oh, that's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Okay.
Yeah, they're seeing what they can get away with, and it's kind of scummy considering you had Battlefront 1 not too long ago where all the heroes were unlocked at launch.
Yep.
And the fact is, you can't play certain game modes if you don't have the proper heroes unlocked. And if you're playing a game mode with, like, heroes and you only have Darth Vader unlocked, but somebody else already picked Darth Vader, you can't play. So the entire thing is just a mess.
Also, the game's kind of broken. Just... Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Even outside of just actually playing the game, it's kind of broken. Like, I watched Jim Sterling play it, I got a headache. From the vibrating TIE fighter. Ugh.
Also, apparently the story isn't even that good, so...
Well, yeah, it's a Star Wars game that's, like...
They tried to pin it as you're playing as the bad guys now, but you just do the basic. Oh, now I changed my mind. And it just becomes like every other Star Wars plot thing.
Except the Old Republic, because you didn't have to do that in the Old Republic. You could still just side with the Empire and be an evil motherfucker for the entire thing.
But, you know, we're not... That kind of stuff's not canon anymore.
Yeah. I'm still confused why they let that keep going, but I guess because it makes money was the primary reason.
So, yeah, that's going to be a thing now. Every game's going to have microtransactions and whatnot in it, because even if it cuts down on people buying the game, dumb motherfuckers will buy the microtransactions to make up for it.
I don't know. At this point, Battlefront very specifically has an interesting part of the whole equation, and that's Disney. Because this whole thing has been such a gigantic clusterfuck that it's entirely possible Disney could say, hey, what the hell are you doing? We gave you this license to, you know, help market our brand of Star Wars, and now you're just kind of making it toxic. So, yoink.
Yep, and by the way, this all really came to the surface when EA got the most downvoted post in Reddit history.
It was a fun day.
Over 600,000, last I checked, downvotes. Because they were saying, in response to the whole "it takes 40 hours to unlock Darth Vader," is we want players to have a sense of pride and accomplishment when they unlock these characters. So somebody else did the math, and even after the reductions, it takes 4,821 hours to unlock everything in the game.
Okay, see, wanting there to be a sense of pride and accomplishment, that's honestly a good thing in my book. Making it difficult to unlock everything, that's also a good thing. Just ensures that they spend more time on the game and they like it more the more they play. But that amount of time, if it's not an MMORPG, and even if it is, that's just absurd.
Divided by 24. 200 days of
not
non-stop play. 200 days. It would take you almost 7 months of non-stop play.
Yeah. But not if you bought your stuff.
So the AAA sector is more or less on life support at this point. I don't think there's anything I want to touch in the AAA sector right now. Not a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the only thing I'm tempted to touch that even has the concept of loot boxes in it is Assassin's Creed Origins. But at the same time, I really don't care if I play it or not.
Yeah, I don't want to play another Assassin's Creed game. I'm done.
I'm pretty much done with that series too.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna get Wolfenstein and have fun with that.
Sadly, too, we kind of saw the Pirates thing that Ubisoft were going to do, and that's a multiplayer shtick thing, and that's not what I was after.
Yeah. Well, not really much.
Why can't anyone just come up with a good single-player game? Why is that dead? It shouldn't be dead.
It's not dead. We had Nier Automata, Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mario Odyssey. We had a lot of really good single-player games this year.
But
It's
publishers have decided they don't make as much money with single-player games. So, it's dead, guys. Single-player's dead now. Yeah, everyone plays multiplayer games. Remember to get your loot boxes and microtransactions and your season pass download DLC for all the new maps that we're going to release eventually, probably, unless we decide that this game isn't making enough money, so we're not going to actually release them.
I still can't believe Shadow of War, Mordor, whatever, has freaking loot boxes in a single-player game. That's unbelievable to me.
It depresses me more that Mankind Divided, Deus Ex, one of my all-time favorite series, was one of the first that did that. Is just have microtransactions. Hey, you can buy Praxis kits, you can buy level ups, and they only lasted for the current run of the game that you were doing. So if you start over, you don't get that stuff that you bought. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. The lesson, boys and girls, is go support the good single-player games, please, that don't have loot boxes, so we can kind of, I guess, get the point across that we don't want those in our games.
Indie games, ladies and gentlemen. That scene is bumping right now. I don't know why.
I like, just buy some good indie games. What else did you do this week, Kenji?
Yeah.
We were on your week.
I don't know. That's it. Basically, I just want to talk.
Yeah, that's definitely a topic we should have talked about.
Yeah. Of course, it just made everyone slightly angry, but yeah.
I don't agree. You say
that's fine.
More fun stuff when you're angry.
All right. I'll go next, I think. And Patient then Zero. My week's pretty straightforward, actually. And probably something that Kenshi, I was expecting him to mention, but he did not, was Punisher came out on Friday.
I didn't want to. We can't really talk about it.
We can't talk about it much. We definitely can't spoil anything, but we can around it, kind of thing.
I've heard good things about it addressing him as a character.
Yeah, it's pretty solid so far. I'm on episode 8 currently, so yeah, there's some plot elements that just kind of seem like disconnected from everything else, but considering it's a good side plot, I can't really complain that much about it. It might actually be the most interesting part of the show.
All right.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely not an Iron Fist, which is good.
I'm enjoying it a lot. So it's to the point now where he's kind of replacing the Punisher voice in my head when I think about Punisher. His voice is in there now. So
It's a pretty solid
sounds-
Punisher voice.
Which Punisher voice is that? Is that the one from the '90s Spider-Man cartoon?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
They were allowed to have the Punisher in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon?
Yeah.
They had all sorts of people in the Spider-Man cartoon. It was pretty great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Daredevil showed up in it regularly.
Well, yeah, but Daredevil's Daredevil. That's Spider-Man plus Daredevil. That was a thing.
Wasn't Blade there too?
Yeah, Blade showed up. They threw in.
Well, Blade was popular at the time. That was.
If you go back and watch the '90s Spider-Man cartoon, the pacing is lightning fast and it crosses over with everything. It's amazing.
Did they get Wesley Snipes for playing Blade?
I think this was before that.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, this was like a few years before that.
I'm trying to make a Wesley Snipes I need money joke, but I can't think of anything. Oh well.
Listen, Wesley Snipes has led a life that you and I can only dream of.
Yeah, dude was a vampire.
Okay.
I wouldn't
What
wanna
else,
be a
Casey?
vampire.
Other than the Punisher, you got anything else to say on it?
Not really, not yet, no. Yeah, anything else that I'd say about it would be kind of a spoiler, so I'm just gonna leave it and give it, I don't know how long we give it, but oh well. We might do a spoiler at the end of an episode once everyone involved has seen it. So, we can just cut off and say, hey, there's going to be spoilers for Punisher from this point on, so if you haven't seen it yet, stop and such. Like we did for the Defenders when I went on a rant for about an hour. Yeah.
I remember having that Discord conversation with you about the Defenders.
Yeah.
That was fun. Oh.
Still kind of annoyed about that. But, this one isn't that, so it's good. It's fine. What else did I do? Okay. Last night I finished Sonic Forces as far as I'm gonna actually finish it.
How was it? Now that you've finished it.
My complete playtime is 6 hours, and that was with quite a bit of faffing around.
Yeah, I've seen people beat it in 3 hours.
Yep, you could absolutely do that. Okay. There are 3 components to Sonic... 4. 10. I'll call it 4. There are 4 components to Sonic Forces. There are the modern Sonic segments. They are fun, if a little bland. There isn't much to actually do in them. Occasionally
Press
the
X to
controllers
win.
go... Not really. There's some bits where you can't do that.
Is the scenery good?
Yes, that's one of the standouts for the game. Is the scenery's great, the music's great until I listen to the credits, and that main theme of the game is called Fist Bump.
Oh yeah, you didn't know about that?
I didn't know about that, and then I heard it in the credits, and I couldn't stop laughing at the song. Like, this is I'm getting into this song with the double boost thing. It's the music that plays during the double boost segments where you're just kind of kicking everything's ass. And I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool music, yeah. And then the credits plays, and I actually hear the lyrics, and I'm like, oh boy.
Oh, okay, it's basically like it's the closest to Crush 40 they've come, I guess. That's how I see it.
Except for Crush 40, but
Yeah. So I was fine with it. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah, like music in that game's great. But yeah, the Sonic segments are just kind of bland, but they're fun and visually interesting and audibly interesting.
How's classic Sonic?
Let me get to the Avatar segments. Also pretty fun. there's more to do in those, so that's beneficial. Like, you actually play the game more when you're playing as the Avatar.
Did you hear the pretty popular theory that was supposed to be Boom Sonic, but they took him out after like Sonic Boom failed? With like things like the whole tech stuff is Sonic Boom and he has a whip in that game that he could use to grapple.
I did not hear that, but considering the weapons are actually the Wisp weapons from Sonic Colors, I doubt it a little bit. Unless they just retrofitted that.
They probably retrofitted it, but I don't know.
Like, there's evidence against it, but none of it's particularly compelling either way. But yeah, that whole stuff is way more interesting. Third component is the fucking avatar creation thing. That's surprisingly fun. Is building an avatar. Like, it's a little limited in places. Like, if you play as a bear, it should look like a bear, and thus be big and bulky. But they all have the same body model, so that's kind of lame. And it basically just changes the ears and fur around the scruff. That's about it. It's kind of lame. But yeah, the customization options are pretty cool. I ended up with a cowboy cat kind of looking thing. And it was pretty cool.
Of course, it was a cat.
Yeah, it was a cat. It was a purple cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had little sunglasses on and stuff. It was cool. Yeah. So that whole thing was surprisingly fun and engaging. And when it would come up at the end of the level, hey, you unlocked this, 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 and this. And I'd be like, yeah. Ooh, that, okay, let's go put that on. You know, I got into that stuff. That was actually pretty cool. I did not think I would like that as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Sonic.
You paused. That doesn't sound good.
Oh boy.
So, how unnecessary is Classic Sonic?
Spectacularly.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. Everybody's saying, he doesn't need to be in this game. He contributes very little. And he doesn't play as well as everybody else.
Here's the thing. Classic Sonic, or more accurately, I suppose, Mania Sonic, doesn't play well. It plays terribly. The momentum is all wrong, the physics are all wrong, the jumping is all wrong. Literally every element of that gameplay is busted as hell.
I've listened to some of the music for the Classic Sonic stages, and it gives me a serious headache. I don't like
Music for the segments, also not great, but yeah. So, that gameplay for that version of Sonic, coming right on the heels of Sonic Mania,
Yeah.
it's basically saying, hey, Sonic Team, you're not allowed to do this anymore. Because you pretty much just proved you have no idea how to do it, and there are other people who can do it way the hell better than you can. So, yeah.
You know, even though this, like, they were billing it as everybody was saying, you know, it's the Generations and Colors team, most of that team isn't on this game. In fact, you have very, very, very little of that team at all involved with the production of this game. So it makes sense that things aren't as great as it would be.
You know what this game should have been?
What?
10 more levels of Sonic and the Avatar. And possibly some combined Sonic and Avatar levels, because there are some of those too. That would have made for a better game, just all over, if they had just decided, you know, the Mania guy, the Christian Whitehead, and all those other guys, they did a pretty good job. Maybe we should leave that alone. Let them handle it.
Yeah. How's the plot?
Plot's fine. just in general, it's kind of fine. I like Liam O'Brien as Infinite. It's not much to the character, but it's Liam O'Brien, so he can give it some gravitas at least.
There's also that Shadow DLC.
Yeah, it's 3 more levels where you get Infinite's backstory, basically. There's not much to that either. He was a mercenary working for Eggman, and then Shadow beat him in a second and was like, "You suck." And he's like, "I suck? Oh." Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear the stomach growling coming through my microphone. It's just like...
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm not really probably going to buy Sonic Forces, at least until maybe a price drop.
Yeah, buy it on sale.
But that's a bit depressing. Because everything I hear about it is just yeah, it's fine. And Sonic Mania just came out, so it's being held right against that.
So, Patient, this image that you just came up with, is this Sonic and his harem? I don't understand what this is supposed
It's
to
Sonic
be.
and Avatar, the Last Airbender.
Okay.
The Sonic characters for the last... Sure. Okay.
That's what came to his mind when you said those things.
That's when you said Avatar. Okay. I get it. Okay.
I was mostly just making fun of the fact that Knuckles was in the picture at the bottom. It just seemed appropriate.
Tikal's a waterbender because chaos is made of water.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a thing. Okay. Sonic's an airbender because he's a Knight of the Wind.
That was a good song.
It is a good song, yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
Okay,
I think some of my favorite songs from the Sonic series actually came from what was he? What was that even called? I can't even remember.
The storybook games?
Yeah, Sonic.
Yeah.
Knight 1. I forget what it's called.
Sonic and the Black Knight, and then Sonic and the Secret Rings, I think.
Yeah, Black Knight had some great songs. Night of the Wind was great.
Yeah.
Is It You, I think was the other one, which was a power ballad by Crush 40, and I'm like, yeah, cheese, so much cheese, it's great. Yeah.
What else did you do? What else did you do this week, Casey?
Don't think anything, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm lame aside from that. But hey, buyer beware and such Sonic Forces, so you're welcome, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Patient, do you want to go?
Sure, I'll go. Well, to start off with, this could be interesting. My girlfriend is particularly fond of Salmiakki. Do you know what that is?
No.
Wait,
No clue.
could you repeat that?
He's gonna type it.
He's
for
typed it.
I have... No, I have no idea what that is.
Is it an egg dish, by chance?
No.
Dang.
Is it related to salmon?
It's basically a very, very potent version of black licorice.
Oh no.
Now, see, she's fond of that stuff, and I hadn't tried licorice before until a couple of days ago. I had thought that it tasted similar to Twizzlers, but they said that it was different, and I tried some licorice that was labeled gourmet, and the red kind. Yeah, not a lot of difference from Twizzlers to my palate.
Oh, it's hockey powder. Okay, I know what this is. Yeah. Yeah, they had a weird thing with Giant Bomb doing taste tests of Swedish and Finnish and Norwegian sweets. Yeah, because they had developers from I think it was Grin, the ones that made the Bionic Commando remaster. Anyway, yeah, and it is like salty, sour licorice stuff, and it's gross. Apparently, it's very flavorful. Let's say.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I bring that up because I also bought a bag of gourmet black licorice at the same time I bought the red, and I'm about to try a piece right now for the first time. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
Live taste testing here on the Fandom Flux podcast.
Oh god, it's black licorice.
Yeah.
For the record, I hate licorice of all kinds.
The people who love black licorice, love black licorice.
That was odd. There's a bit of a pungent aftertaste, but it was more bland than anything.
Really?
There was hardly any flavor to it at all. Maybe I should look more into... Maybe I should see if it's really gourmet licorice that they're selling. I mean, it's labeled as much. The smell...
I like blue licorice.
Blue licorice? What is that?
Like blue raspberry licorice. It's really good. It's surprisingly addictive. It's really good.
A lot of things can be surprisingly addictive.
True.
Okay. So, that's that out of the way. On the note of things with my girlfriend, we're hoping that I'll be able to see her at the end of the year. She's asked her parents about it this past weekend when she went to see them, and they are thinking about it for a couple of days. Her mother doesn't really believe that I can be a significant other when she only knows me online.
That would be the point of meeting, though.
Yeah, how else are they going to change if...
It sort of would, yeah. So that's a good part of why I'm hoping to meet her in person. Hoping that they agree, rather. I wouldn't go too much into detail on here. That's just overstepping boundaries of privacy, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Apart from that, it's been a pretty quiet week. Since resigning from my job, I've been passive, to put it kindly, and looking for another. So this past week was just relaxing. This coming week is the week of Thanksgiving, so we're going to be preparing Thanksgiving dinner in a few days. My sister's coming home for Thanksgiving break in a couple of days, so it's going to be a good feast, and I'm going to be making a gluten and dairy-free pineapple upside-down cake for it, because my parents are on a gluten and dairy-free diet for a few weeks, and my mother loves pineapple upside-down cake.
I like pineapples. Upside down or not.
Can I ask, what's the gluten-free diet supposed to be good for, specifically?
Losing weight.
I know I've known certain people who just can't eat gluten, but I don't know.
Yeah,
about
my
the
dad
diet
was like that.
itself.
He had celiac, and that's the only
It's basically
medically authorized reason for not eating gluten at all.
well, the doctors recommended it for trying to lose weight, and it's been working wonders for them thus far.
Fair play.
He recommended that they keep it up for 8 weeks. It's been 8 weeks and then meet back with him They're about halfway through it at this point. So here's hoping that they're cleansed in time for Christmas dinner.
Christmas dinner.
Humbug.
No, that wasn't a humbug. That was a.
Just anticipating.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, that'll be good.
Turkey and stuffing, Yorkshire puddings.
Aside from that, I made a particularly favorite dish in our families yesterday.
Roast potato.
No, 2 days ago. Chicken tortilla soup.
Butter
Made it.
carrots. Sorry,
Casey, please.
Casey, don't make yourself hungry like that.
I was already hungry, okay? You heard the stomach. It was. It is the fifth current cast member of this podcast right now, is my stomach.
Alright. Where was I? Crossbrain's still struggling a bit with Strong World. We've, there's pretty much no chance. Well, there's a chance, but it's very unlikely of us getting the chapter done before the conclusion of the month. Partly because of that, partly because we've been considering it for a while. We've switched our Patreon to monthly rather than depending on how many updates we do. I mean, we've basically been doing one chapter a month for the past several months anyway, so it's not making that much of a difference.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, since I started donating to different Patreons, the whole every time we release something, you donate, makes me kind of uneasy. I'm not gonna lie. It just makes me think, oh no, what if they keep updating a bunch of stuff and I end up paying through the nose for it? Oh,
now,
no.
see, there is an option to limit how many
There
times
is, yes, but that yeah,
rubs you the wrong way.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why, but it does. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Well, another thing on the note of Strong World, we haven't finished. We're far from finishing the chapter, but we did post a slight preview and this commissioned picture, as you can see. It's been in the works for several weeks. The artist has been quite patient with us.
Sorry.
Meh.
High, top-notch artwork, rock-bottom prices. I definitely recommend checking him out.
Who was that? Sorry, because I know I said, like, I think it was last week, saying, hey, I don't really need art. I'm considering getting some artwork done for cover images for my stories.
Yes. On the note of which, I saw that you updated Rubber Justice.
I did do that, didn't I? Oh, holy shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was the thing I did this week.
It's okay, I forgot too. I still didn't read it.
Okay, thanks. It's funny when I say it, not when my friends say it.
Oh, yeah. And apparently Casey doesn't know what pecans are.
What?
It's like a nut, right?
Yeah.
Casey, yes. It's a form of nut.
It's not a...
I mean, I don't know exactly how uncommon pecans are outside of, I don't know, the South. Pecan pie is a thing down here, and it's delicious. But are they really not?
They're not really a thing in this country. Like, they're probably around if people want them, but like almonds, cashews, peanuts, obviously. That's pretty much your nut selection. Pistachios, if you want to get fancy.
Oh, I do want to get fancy.
I don't. I hate pistachios. Also, they blow up. That's not a thing I want to... Like, combustible
That
food
just
does
makes
not
them
seem...
better.
Yeah, Kenshi only wants to eat something if it will explode in his hand.
It's
Also-
only fun to eat things if they can kill you.
Also, it was one of the it was the star of one of the worst movies ever.
What, pistachios?
Yeah. Master of Disguise.
Yeah,
Dana
Master
Carvey,
Turtle.
was that?
Turtle.
Dana Carvey, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turtle.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, so this guy does good commissions?
Well, look at this.
Well,
You
yeah.
see that artwork, and he
I do.
he did another one for us. Oh yes, it was the one showing the mountain with the top 10 fix. He also did that one for us. So yeah, really fantastic artist, and charges a flat rate of $15. So not very expensive at all.
For that? Yeah, that's not expensive at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'd almost argue it's undervaluing his services, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I gave him a generous tip the first time, and if I haven't, then I need to rectify that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Anything else? Fanwork stuff going on. Oh yeah. Last week I mentioned having waiting to hear back from the doctor about the ultrasound I had.
Yes. Patient?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. No big deal.
All right.
So that's
Were you just keeping us in suspense? Is that why you went silent for like 10 seconds?
maybe.
Like,
You ass.
But it's so much fun to be a troll.
as it turns out, everyone, I died yesterday.
And then his name just kind of slowly fades out of the Discord channel. But who was phone?
Who was phone?
Alright,
God damn it.
there's. Alright, I don't think there's really much aside from that. Nothing else new in Fanworks aside from Casey's story. Do check out Rubber Justice if you haven't already.
He updates so rarely that I forget that, like, what happens, and then I have to reread it every time.
Oh no. You have to read about the size of a regular chapter for most people.
But I'm lazy.
I'm getting better at writing Luffy, though, so that's a plus. Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Was there anything else lately? I saw this mentioned on the news. I don't typically watch the news, but apparently infamous guy named Charles Manson passed away.
Indeed. This morning, as fact.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Moving on from that, I don't think I have anything else. So we have 0 participants left to tell about their. So we can just end it now, right?
Just fucking go, dude.
Yeah. So for my week, I bought Pokemon Ultra Sun.
Of course you did.
Because it's the last Pokemon game on 3DS.
Of course you did.
And So there have been some complaints that it's not like as significant of an expanded version, or there's repetition in the beginning, but like it's probably the best of the quote unquote expanded third versions released. It's no sequel like Black 2 or White 2, but there's a lot here that's pretty fun. I think it's just that this came out relatively recently compared to previous expanded versions of the games.
And that's so. Well,
it Sun and Moon still feels fresh in everybody's mind. And a lot of people were speculating and wanting the game to be on the Switch. But this was kind of like...
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors about Pokemon Stars and that being on the Switch or something.
So, yeah. Which would have been, if people were right, would have just been the same game, but on the Switch.
That's not a bad thing, though.
No, it's not a bad thing. But you can tell that because Switch, I feel like some parts of this were a bit rushed because they want to get to work on the Switch game.
I can understand that, but if it means we actually get console Pokemon, I don't care.
Yeah. Overall, it's a really good game. There's some minor things where it's like, did we really need to repeat that part from the original? I am finding that characters that didn't get as much development in the original are getting more development in here, so it's better writing, which is nice.
It's relative with Pokemon. So.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm not going to turn my nose up at better character writing and characters that actually developed it.
Yeah.
And characters that developed that didn't develop in the other game. So, yeah,
I shouldn't be snooty about people that are actually trying now instead of what they were doing before. So yeah, sorry about that.
Like Sun and Moon already, I think, had some really good characters and some good stuff with how it handled its plot. This one focuses on different characters, I guess is the way to say it. Still very fun. Like, they've made some changes, so now some of the complaints, like, oh, hey, in Sun and Moon, a wild Pokemon could call for help basically infinitely, and you could just be in a never-ending chain of trying to kill Pokemon that were called for help. That doesn't happen in this. They can only call for help once, unless you use a certain item. So, like, there's a lot of changes trying to make it feel better. But overall, I've been having fun with it. Still gonna make my way through that. I chose a Rowlet this time instead of a Litten. So I got my cool sniper bird.
Oh, I was about to say, did you choose a Growlithe?
No. Rowlet.
Because I heard Growlithe.
There is a Growlithe you can get. You can get a Growlithe pretty early on, but like, no.
Now, by
Is it
Growlithe,
bad that I don't know whether Zero is talking about a coughing or not?
Yeah,
I don't know whether he's just fucking with you.
Do you mean a Growlithe or like a coughing? Because
I mean an actual Growlithe. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whatever. Screw you guys.
No, but seriously, you didn't answer. Is it a Growlithe or a Growlithe?
It's an actual Growlithe. Okay.
Thank you.
Aside from that, I did buy the fancy schmancy art book from Critical Role. They did.
They did do.
And it's really nice. It is really, really nice. I like it. Lots of really good art in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get the visual comics.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about getting those now because I'll probably just get them once they're all out.
Yeah, same. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get them.
I released a over 9,000 insert meme here word chapter. Big chapter. I wasn't expecting it to go that long, but it ended up going really, 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 really long. For Light Cheat, Steal, and Survive because like I had some place where I wanted to end, and
You're gonna get there come hell or high water.
Yeah.
Also, he's Italian. He's totally Italian.
There's this character I introduced that was I had to make an original character because I needed to fill a certain role for the story that was important. And Casey reads the character's voice in Italian, and I don't understand why. And it just confuses me beyond all belief.
It confuses me. But it just kind of reads like that.
I don't agree with you. I wrote it, and I don't agree with you.
It's Italian.
It's all a matter of interpretation.
You had him call himself the Papa, and that just makes me think Italian.
Papa is Italian to you?
I am the Papa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Italian.
Considering his mode of speech at that point was like he would constantly switch like to sounding like different types of people, and at that time he was trying to sound childlike. But sure, I guess Papa is Italian.
I don't know any English accent that would, well, English American, whatever, English speaking accent that would actually use the word Papa for anything.
Well, it's I think this is at this point it's just a cultural thing of differences. You equate with Italian. That's it's much more common in America. So.
Italian or French?
Anyway,
Italian.
I got this really long-winded review that I'm pretty sure was just spam from this guy whose username was Student of the Bible. And I looked on his profile and it was blank, and it was basically condemning all works of fiction as being of the devil because they oppose fact, and saying I should repent. And then I sent them a message saying I'm a Christian dude. If you're a troll, just stop wasting people's time. And then he threw 80 Bible verses at me. So yeah. That was an interesting experience.
Yeah.
Link him to Current Jesus.
I should have. But at this point, I just want to ignore him.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure because he was talking about how the end of times was coming and everything. So you can't reason with a person in that state. Yeah. You meet all types of interesting types of people on fanfiction.net. Yeah. Aside from that, my parents and brother went out to go see the Dallas Cowboys game in Texas. Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, there's apparently an in-joke that I'm supposed to be getting that I didn't.
Put simply, the Dallas Cowboys lost one of their best players at some point recently, so the game's outcome was pretty much decided before it began.
So, what was the score for this game that they traveled all the way to Texas and left me behind?
Not that you're bitter or anything.
37-9. Eagles won. So, yeah. They can have fun in Texas without me. Sure.
So can I, clearly.
Oh.
Hello? Hello?
What the hell?
Awkward silence.
0?
And it was around 2. Yeah? Did I cut out?
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Boy, howdy.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
We don't know anything you said after you got done talking about the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. So, Cowboys, well, they were away. I was at home with my grandpa and my dog, so I got to write a whole bunch and do a lot of video gaming. So, it was a good weekend.
Bitchy games.
You know? Video games are a thing. And EA smells badly.
And Activision. and Ubisoft
and
Warner Bros.
Yeah. There's a long list of bad smellers.
And 2K.
And 2K.
And 2K. Gosh, well, you know, actually, I also
Oh god,
not-
I just realized Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming out at some point. And
I
that
think
just
it's-
makes me sad now.
not this week, but the following week. That Saturday is when Xenoblade 2 drops. So I'm gonna die because that game's going to just be forever. Because those are very long games, those Xenoblade games that last forever. Aside from that, I hope that Nintendo tells me about what their Breath of the Wild story DLC is, because it was supposed to come out this year. Getting really close.
It's a water-based DLC. It's all going to be in water zones. It's called Spit of the Wild.
Considering you can't dive in Breath of the Wild, that's fine, I guess. There's boats. You're not going to have a water temple situation.
And then there's going to be one that's filled with poison gas. It's called Body Odor of the Wild.
Gross.
Yeah.
Enough, Casey.
Breath of the Odor.
No.
Okay.
I'm just disappointed in myself for those terrible, terrible jokes. I just
So-
feel bad.
Back to that coughing. Is it a woof woof coughing or a blow up your Riolu coughing?
I'm going to punch you.
Riolu
I'm going to reach in
growling.
through the internet and punch you.
Yeah, but then he'll just headbutt you back, and then his career will skyrocket. That's how it works,
Yeah,
apparently.
apparently that's a thing.
In fairness, if you could headbutt through the internet, Kenshi, I would watch any show you were performing in.
If I could headbutt through the internet, you think I'd be doing this for money?
Give me $20, I'll headbutt somebody through the internet. Oh, I feel like that would solve many problems in the world.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
What else you got, Joe?
Just think about what trolls are doing to the world right now, and then...
But I'm not a troll. I'm dispensing justice.
Yeah, he's dispensing justice.
You said anyone. Zero. That was...
Yeah? So? Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for my week. I can't remember anything else significant. I'm making my way through Stranger Things, slowly but surely.
Watch
But-
Punisher instead, it's probably better.
I know you hate Stranger Things, but you're dumb, so it's fine. That's it for me.
Not mean.
You know, after like over 100 episodes of you messing with me, I think it's justified.
Yeah. Back up. You're not wrong. So we should probably do recommendations and then close this out, because I need to do
Yeah.
editing, and then I need to...
I'm gonna recommend Mr. Schnee Let's Loose.
That sounds
This-
dirty.
This is basically a kind of a crack fic
I never did read that.
where it's by Cormac Ravenstaff, where there's a line in here that says his mustache started flapping its wings and carried Mr. Schnee off the ground. So it's
Majestic
fun.
mustache. You could do that.
It is a majestic mustache. I reviewed this story and also he recommended, like, he PM'd me afterwards real happy, and he was like, oh, you should read my Professor Port fic, which was like The Night Professor Port Goes Crazy, which was also fun and
Does
had a
his
lot of
mustache
mustache.
also fly?
I think it does. I can't remember. It was like I've never done drugs before, but I think reading that was equivalent. So
Hero Academia writers, if you need just random quirks just to add, flying mustache. There you go. You have that one. That one's free.
Or
My mustache if you're curious about that, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
So, the night Port went crazy is every single chapter he says, "I'm not sorry." And you know what? You don't apologize. This is a weird thing I found that actually got me back into reading more fan fiction, because it was dumb enough for me to not even care about how it's formatted or be all elitist crap that is getting drilled into my brain through school. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun reading these stories. If you just want to kind of relax, these are good.
I'm looking for something that I could recommend. I'm struggling a little bit.
Watch John Wick. Both of them.
I have one recommendation, but I need a minute before I can say it.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll just keep talking in the meantime. Watch
Go.
John Wick. This
It's
is what action movies should be.
It's
okay?
the best Neo movie, and its sequel is also a good Neo movie as well.
Seriously, he's Keanu Reeves, but he's Neo.
Alright.
Yeah, no.
I have a recommendation. Kind of. It's called The Spider. It's a Spider-Man self-insert in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, kind of. I think this fic started before Homecoming came out, so the details of the plot weren't known at the time. So, yeah. Spider-Man self-insert, and it comes with a lot of the tropes that self-inserts tend to come with. The author has a fixation on Black Cat, so that happens. But aside from that, a lot of the characters feel as real as comic book characters tend to feel. So that's pretty solid.
The Spider.
It manages to portray teenager as teenager fairly well. Yeah, there's a pretty solid thing of the self-insert and Mary Jane just kind of butting heads every now and again because teenage romance drama and such, but it actually plays as teenage instead of soap opera, really. So, good job for the author on that one.
When you said the Spider, I was like, the Silver Spider, the Scarlet Spider. Oh, yeah, the Spider verse.
Spider.
Like this, it's I'm beginning to realize that there may be a problem with how many Spider-Men there are. Spider-Gwen.
I don't know anything about her except that she exists, and that it makes some people sad because that was an important moment when she died and such.
I've heard it's done really well, and I have the first volume of the comic, and yeah, I like it. Spider-Gwen's a cool character.
Fair play.
So
That's my recommendation. Patient, we vamped enough and such.
Yeah, I've got it now.
Cool.
All right. So go figure. This time I'm not recommending this fic.
Sorry? You cut out.
I said go figure. This time I'm not recommending a One Piece fic.
He cut out. This time I'm not recommending a blank fic.
I'm assuming One
He
Piece.
said One Piece.
Yeah.
One
Yes,
Piece.
correct.
Okay.
Looked at the exact same time twice in a row.
What I'm recommending is a fan fiction called The Falsebound Kingdom Heroes Crusade, which is based on the GameCube game Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom. It's basically a novelization of the game, and it's one that's well done. The plot line of The Falsebound Kingdom is basically Yugi and friends are invited because of the high standing of their status as gamers to try out a new experimental technology in a virtual world. Now stop me if you've heard that one before.
Log Horizon.
Everything.
So, as you can imagine, they get hooked up to the game, and then not long after it, they get trapped in the game with no way out. So they're forced to play through it, trying to get to the end so that they can hopefully escape. And the game, in the meantime, is them in part of a war-torn continent with tyrannical ruler named Heishin, who's living in the lap of luxury and taxing all of his civilians. And Yugi takes the role of leader of the rebel forces who are trying to liberate the continent. So, and they do this, they tie in Yu-Gi-Oh! By each of the main characters is what's called a marshal, but they're capable of commanding dual monsters to attack for them, up to 3 monsters at a time. So, novelizing that, you basically get to see a version where basically someone planning out a war game using these characters and actually putting in a bit of plot along the way with the character development, the original characters in the game, and the interactions of the monsters in the game. So, the fic is long since dead, unfortunately, but what's there is quite good, and I played the original game for GameCube. I liked it, so looking back at it, I can see that it's just cashing in with the Yu-Gi-Oh! License. It's not a bad game, but it was, if it wasn't for the fan service, there wasn't much there. Just a standard, albeit enjoyable RPG. Claiming the castles, collecting all the monsters, leveling them all up, seeing what you can unlock character-wise, item-wise, that sort of thing. It's leaned heavily on the graphics, I suppose, but it was an enjoyable story, an enjoyable game. So that's my recommendation. It's not the only fic to have tried the Falsebound Kingdom novelization thing, but it's the best of them, from what I can see.
You know, Yugi and friends would probably have an easier time if they bought these loot boxes. Get your epic gear today.
You too can also have a blue white dragon.
Right then, assuming that Kenshi doesn't have any can you take us out of here, Casey?
You mean assuming? You don't need to assume. You know.
I did have a recommendation. John Wick.
I'm sorry, you cut out there. Could you say that again?
He recommended John Wick, the greatest of the Neos.
Fantastic action movie. If you like action movies, watch John Wick. They're great.
So you still don't have a fan fiction recommendation?
No, because I have very strict standards.
I know that feeling, Kenshi.
All right. Take us out of here, Casey, please.
My jokes are bad. I at least restrained myself this time. Yeah, so...
Did you say the episode number?
Oh,
right. We're the big fancy episode this time with the big fancy number. Oh, gosh.
Episode 200. Fandom Flux forgets the episode title again. Episode number.
I mean, that's in line with...
Well,
yeah.
Didn't mention it, but
I knew too, but then I forgot as we started, so doesn't count, I guess.
Well,
yeah.
We'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast episode 200. If you'd like to get into contact with us,
please do throw through our YouTube comments down below, or our fan fiction pages, or like if you find us on the street and don't mug us, like I think it would be pretty cool to have a conversation with
And this
you.
is why I do it every week.
And if you do try to mug me, I'll headbutt you in the face, and my crew will get Scott.
Yeah. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined.
Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 200. Bye now.
That's what's special about episode 200. I let other people do the outro for once. Happy?
I'm sorry you cut out. Could you say that again?
I think what's special is that nothing's special.
I'm special.
You can believe that.
I don't, actually. I'm totally not special. Bye, everybody.
Bye.